What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So look, y'all, I watched this hip hop YouTube channel called Dead End Hip Hop, right? It's an amazing channel. I found this channel about 10 years ago. Found it 10 years ago, and I've been following the channel ever since. They do hip hop album reviews. They do a lot of hip hop, like they do Q&As, questions, they do a lot of discussion, so on and so forth. And it's a phenomenal channel. If you haven't heard about it, check it out. Dead End Hip Hop. So on the channel, I saw the title of one of the videos was "Who had the bigger impact on hip hop, Jay-Z or Eminem?" And I refused to watch the video because I wanted to tackle this subject on my own, and then I wanted to watch what they said after the fact. But I didn't want anything they said to influence my decision on the topic, right? And I know at times the argument can go either way. Who had the bigger impact on hip hop, Jay-Z or Eminem? Did Eminem have a bigger impact, or did Jay-Z have the bigger impact? And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna go with Eminem. I'm gonna go with Eminem without question. Eminem without question. And a lot of y'all that watch my channel know I'm not a big fan of Eminem. I've never been a big fan of Eminem. Seriously, I don't really care for the content of his music. I never gravitated to it. It never resonated with me at all. I am, like, Jay-Z, my favorite rapper ever. I love Jigga. But I would be foolish to say that Eminem's impact on hip hop wasn't colossal. It was colossal. It was meteoric. It was off the Richter scale. And yes, it was largely in part due to his race. Eminem he can rap. He can put words together. He can be a wordsmith, but it's just not my cup of tea. I feel like it was rappers that were much better than him, for sure, in hip hop, but he was an anomaly. A guy in a black music genre who could do things very well, who studied the basic elements of hip hop, and he was versed in it. And, he could come up with metaphors and similes and so on and so forth. But I felt like it was guys who did it better than him. But he helped to globalize rap music. I'm never going to refute that. I'm never going to try to fight against it at all. Hip hop, yes, hip hop was thriving before Eminem came into the fold, without question. However, Eminem brought hip hop worldwide. He brought more ears to rap music, for sure. I say this: the magnitude of Jay-Z's impact is felt in the hood, in the streets, which many can argue is the essence of hip hop, because it is. The streets, the hood is the essence of hip hop, right? But yet and still, Jay's impact is felt mainly in the US, in the United States. Eminem's impact is felt on a worldwide scale. His influence is felt across the world. White people were always listening to hip hop music, but not the way they did after Eminem came on the scene. After Eminem came on the scene, y'all, like, it felt like we had a new demographic of white people into hip hop music. And I know some people would say a lot of the fans were only into Eminem's music because a lot of them were only into M and what he produced and what he put out with Dr. Dre. But then you had a nice segment of fans who began to get put onto hip hop after Eminem introduced them to it. He was their introduction. And all it took was a little bit of representation. Representation matters in anything that you do, right? Case in point, during the presidential elections, then Senator Barack Obama, he brought young black people to the polls in ways and numbers that we've never seen before. He brought black American men to the polls, so on and so forth, because we saw a guy who looked like us running into office, and then say, wow, this is monumental. We got to be a part of this. We got to help to feed this. We got to help to campaign. We got to help to push this all the way through, because we never thought we would see a guy in this arena that looks like us being able to uphold himself and prosper within the field. The same thing happened with Eminem. A white American guy from the trailer park, blonde hair, blue eyes, and all. Well, he dyed his hair. Did he dye his hair blonde? He was not naturally blonde. He dyed his hair blonde. He looked like the average kid in white suburbia, or even in the trailer parks as well. And so they saw a guy that they can resonate with, who spoke on things that they felt, things that they were a part of their everyday life, whether it be, dysfunctional relationships with their mothers, or experiments with different type of, or experiences just being around a black hip hop culture and being a white kid wanting to be immersed in it. Eminem spoke about, I'm not saying all white folks do drugs and just live in trailer parks. I'm not saying that. But it was a lane that would open. We knew it was kids in certain trailer parks and all of that, or even different parts of white suburbia who were into drugs heavily. And M rapped about using shrooms, drugs that black people were not put on and privy to like that. It wasn't in our hoods like that. At that point, drugs and pills and of all sorts. Eminem was rapping about those things. And white kids saw somebody that looked like them and they was like, oh my God, this dude is thriving in it. Let me listen to this. Let me listen to what he's saying. Damn, this hip hop is tight. Let me hear what else hip hop has to offer even outside of him. Or let me listen to the hip hop artists that Eminem brought to our conscious. Like a D12. Like a 50. Like I said, I think Jay had the bigger impact on hip hop culture, but M helped to expand hip hop as a brand for sure. M is the highest selling rap artist in history with over 200 million records sold. And again, he brought a new demographic into hip hop. He brought us 50 Cent. 50 had one of the greatest hip hop debuts ever. In regards to the impact and sales. It crazy. 50, everybody was playing Get Rich. 50 became the best dude, like the hottest rapper in the game, like when that album came out. And Eminem was the guy who helped push 50 to the forefront. He didn't write 50's raps or nothing like that, but again, that cosign with M and Dre, phenomenal. Eminem is responsible for a word for a crazed fan of an artist. The word stan. It's a worldwide thing now. I'm not an Eminem fan. I've never been into that, the style of rap and all of that, and the shock value rap at times when he was under that Slim Shady alter ego. But people gravitated to it. He brought that psychotic imagery into rap that we see. The shit I'm not into, that Marilyn Manson type raps, slash a gut, slash a neck, throw a guts over the wall, all that crazy shit is just not for me. And again, talking about killing and raping his mom and his baby mama, that shit is weird, is weirdo rap to me. Again, I always feel like a lot of, even in the hood, that just wasn't our thing like that, because doing something to your mama is taboo within the hoods of Black America. But it's people that liked Eminem within the black community, but we wasn't feeling him like black folks say. Black folks will tell you they love Eminem to the hearts of their soul. Ask them to name 10 Eminem songs. They can't do it. Majority of them cannot do it unless they just really, really a big fan of him or in that Eminem Dr. Dre saga like that. But I always say a lot of black men in the hood that was really into Eminem are also into emo content. I.e. they love a whole lot of anime because anime has a lot of emo themes present in it. But not even then though, it's some kids who are into anime heavy, that's black, that don't really be into M. But I think, again, M brought more ears to hip hop outside of the black community. He globalized it, and he had people in all the different, in every country. There's a pocket of people in every country who know, and not every country, majority of the countries who knows who Eminem is. It's a lot of people in a lot of these countries who probably can't tell you who Jay-Z is outside of being Beyonce's husband. I can argue Beyonce, his wife is bigger than him. Jigga's wife is bigger than him in certain sectors of the world. For sure. But Eminem can stand on his own. And again, it is largely due to his race. He can rap for sure, but it is what it is. I mean, you ask who had the bigger impact, and I'm just measuring that regardless of whatever led to him having a bigger impact. It's just who had the bigger impact. I think M helped to bring the alter egos back into hip hop after Pac transitioned from this earth. Pac was the person who I felt like started it with the Machiavelli alter ego, but then Eminem came after Pac with the Eminem Slim Shady alter ego. And then you saw artists like T.I. and T.I.P. Tip, one of my favorite artists. I listen to Tip any day over Eminem. And again, people don't. Tip, one of the coldest, greatest lyricists to ever grace hip hop, especially from that southern region, without question. But to grace hip hop ever. And people think I'm tripping when I say that, but that you can have whatever you like. Yeah, that's not Tip. That's not T.I. That's just some radio shit that he made. Why you wanna go and do that, love, huh? That's radio songs he made. Listen to Tip rapping on Swagger Like Us. Listen to that whole trap music album. Listen to 56 Bars. Listen to his song called The King on the opening of the Urban Legend album. Listen to Urban Legend. Listen to My Life with Daz Dillinger. Them songs like that, Tip is a lyricist without question. Right? But again, he had the T.I.T.I.P. alter ego thing. Future had the Future Hendrix. Nicki Minaj had the Roman alter ego. Meg Thee Stallion got the Tina Snow thing. And Pac started the alter ego, but I feel like Eminem continued it. Yeah, and I'm talking about worldwide impact. I said Lil Wayne and 50 even got a bigger worldwide impact than Jigga. You know, Jigga, my favorite artist. I think he's a better rapper than Eminem without question. Bar for bar, line for line, I think M ain't fucking with Jigga. I don't think it's a lot of rappers in this game that can fuck with dude. As Jigga's age, like again, man, Jigga has. I'm gonna say this too. Jay helped to influence the mafioso style of rap. He helped, you know, when he came into the game, everybody wanted to be a businessman. Like Jay-Z, what Jigga say, I'm not a businessman, I'm a business. Man, let me handle my business. Damn. Kanye's You Got Me. Freeway and man, anyway. I love that damn verse. But anyway, I think he influenced the mafioso boss style of rap. Everybody wanted to be a businessman like Jigga. His business acumen helped to push him in his status within the GOAT conversation. Jigga influenced how some people talk, how they interact, how they dress with the throwbacks and all that, even though Fable is really the one that brought them throwbacks into the game for real, and made it a fashionable and popular thing. Jigga continued it for sure, but you know, Jigga influenced a lot of the style and the swagger and all of that within hip hop, but it wasn't felt on a worldwide scale like Eminem was. Even within the United States, I don't recall it ever being a time where Jigga was the biggest rapper in a hip hop era. I don't recall ever a time where Jigga was the biggest rapper, the hottest rapper. He was hot for damn sure, but I don't remember him being the hottest. You know, Jigga had the longevity. He had the best consistency of any rapper because Jigga could deliver a verse at 28 that would blow your mind, and even in his 50s, he can deliver some shit that will have you in awe. That you would say, ain't no way that dude wrote that at that age. Because again, I always looked at rap as mostly a young man's game. So to see Jigga still evolve with the time and still be able to be relevant and deliver verses where people really want to still listen and listen keenly, and like, you know, and people not just listen, but are taken or blown away. That shit is phenomenal. A lot of rappers fade after their second, third album. Dude has still been better and better. Like the way he finds ways to still be dope and fire in older age when he's not Jigga. I mean, he's around young dudes at the Rock Nation brunch. I don't know if he's around them all the damn time and all, you know, but on a day-to-day basis. But I mean, he's married to Beyonce, who's younger than him, and maybe I don't know if the influence rubs off. I don't know if his daughter keeps him in the loop, Blue Ivy. But still, I'm amazed at the fact that he's able to still be consistent like this. And there's other rappers who have young kids to help them keep them in tune with the industry, but they ain't rapping like Jigga is. But nonetheless, man, even with him having a longevity and consistency, I don't remember an era where he was the biggest or hottest rapper. Even in his heyday, I can say that DMX was bigger than Jigga. He wasn't a better rapper than Jigga, you know, but he was a bigger star at some points. I think Nelly was a bigger star, even though we know Nelly ain't nowhere near as lyrical and fire as Jigga, even though I feel like Nelly is a lot better rapper than a lot of people even give him credit for. I got some lines from Nelly that you won't believe came from Nelly if you really pay a fucking attention to rap and listen to what the brother was saying. Some stuff and it was fly and it was dope. I'm gonna give Nelly all the fucking credit in the world, right? But he was never no better rapper than Jigga, even at his best. But I would argue Nelly was hotter than him. neck hurting and stuff. But anyway, I can trying to think. You can even argue that at times Ja Rule and them was bigger than Jigga with the hits that they were making that were felt across the world. Jigga had hits. Again, Jigga had hits on top of hits without question. But I don't know, man. He 50 was bigger than was hotter than him. And 50 was never no better rapper than Jigga. You know what I'm saying? But Jigga's longevity outlasted all of them. He was better than them. And coming from a pure standpoint with lyricism, metaphors, all of that. But yeah, you could argue some people had a better flow than Jigga at times, but Jigga, or had better hooks than Jigga. But when it comes to that rapping shit, nah, he's a wordsmith at the highest degree. But again, even with all of that said, never came close to M. It was years. M was just like, shit, he go overseas, everybody know dude. Everybody run to him. White suburban kids, white trailer park kids, kids who were into rock and roll, white kids who were into rock and roll, had their parents buying them the Slim Shady LP, Marshall Mathers LP, the Eminem show. He had, again, people captivated. And it was, again, largely non-black folks. He got a lot of non-black folks into hip-hop. Again, non-black people were always into hip-hop, but not in the way that they were when Eminem came around. And then he brought another artist who captivated the world like 50. And I love Jigga, but who Jigga bring us? Bleak? Now, hold on, let me stop it. No disrespect to Bleak. You can argue he brought us J. Cole for sure. You can argue that. You can argue you can argue, he ain't bring Rihanna into the game. He ain't signed Rihanna. I don't think. Rihanna came to him later on, I think. Yeah. But you can say he brought J. Cole for sure. And Cole is amazing, outstanding. But Cole ain't never had the impact that 50 had, even though he's a better lyricist than Fifth. You know, but I just think that, that Eminem, the impact was, again, meteoric. Kids you never would thought you would see listening to rap music and begging their parents for hip-hop music was listening to it. And some of them became immersed in hip-hop after that. Some only listened to Eminem and Eminem features and so on and so forth, or Eminem-affiliated artists. But it brought more ears. It brought more attention. It even had hip-hop being more acceptable on certain platforms. Again, it was coming from a white guy, so is it really more acceptable, or is it just because the white guy's saying it or whatever? But nonetheless, he had Dre on some of those stages with him. He had 50 on them stages with him. Black artists who made a different brand of hip-hop than he did. They weren't into the psychotic imagery type rap and the gore rap, as far as like the outlandish, hi kids, do you like violence? Want to see me stick 9-inch nails through each one of my eyelids? I smacked him in the face with an eraser, chased him with a stapler, and stapled his nuts to a stack of paper. That shit is loony and like cringe to me, and off the wall and whatever. But people wanted to hear that. He had people listening to that. Spitting on your onion rings. Again, he had better lyrics than that. That patiently waiting verse is gold. And I really don't listen to Eminem. I don't really care for the brother. But yeah, man. No matter if he was rapping that or not, that psychotic imagery, he would have dudes on songs that were black, and people maybe wanted to checked out 50 because of him. Some people checked out 50 because you had no fucking choice. 50 was too damn hot. But some gave him a shot or a chance because he was associated with Eminem. And you can say a lot of people gave Eminem a chance, as black people did, because he was associated with Dr. Dre, who came from the NWA tree, who had a hand in Pac's success at Death Row earlier, and then Dre left Death Row and Pac started dissing him or whatever. But nonetheless, man, I just think Eminem's impact, you can't argue it. You can't argue how he had kids in India, kids in all different parts and countries in Asia, Europe, in America, in North Dakota, Wyoming, Maine, New Hampshire, places where I can guarantee you they really don't season their food that well. The chicken tastes like chicken from goddamn, what's the chicken place that don't be putting no seasoning on their damn food up the street from me? Raising Cane's. You know, Raising Cane's don't put no damn seasoning on the chicken. And I always say it tastes like somebody from Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Wyoming, South Dakota, North Dakota, goddamn, did I say Vermont? One of them places. I said, I bet you Rhode Island. Yeah, again, you know, whatever. But anyway, yeah, he had people in those areas, in those states, rocking with his music. And that increased the brand of hip hop. In some ways, even though I don't like it, it makes me upset. Eminem, to some individuals, it made hip hop more acceptable when they seen a white kid do it. Now, I would say Eminem faced a lot of backlash for the homophobic slurs they said he said and all this and all that. But the Grammys were embracive of him. A lot of these big non-black award shows, they started to have more hip hop around and more at times embracive of certain hip hop. Because I remember Macklemore one that damn bad. God, I'm not listening to no goddamn Macklemore. Hell no. I remember my daughter's mama. My daughter's mom, my daughter's grandmother from her mother. She came and told me, Malcolm, you ain't heard that Macklemore album? And I'm like, no. And she was like, what? You sleep. You sleeping like that? You gotta pay attention to some. You supposed to be on it. I'm looking like, man, I'm not listening to no goddamn Macklemore. You don't get that bullshit the fuck up out of here. I want to say, I can't say that to her. I can't curse to her. I'm never gonna be I'm not disrespectful like that. But I really want, in my mind, I'm looking like, who the fuck is listening to some goddamn Macklemore? And my sentiments were justified when I watched the movie Dope. When I watched Dope and he was like, I would never be listening to a Macklemore album. I'm like, absolutely. Who didn't? Come on now. I'm gonna pop some tags. Only got $20 in my pocket. Hell the fuck no. But anyway, yeah, man. That Eminem impact though, like all 200 million records. Record sales, again, white folks make up majority of the whole country in the world as well. So that's why, again, that his numbers are like that. Because, again, their representation mattered. And people just wanted a piece of whatever he had going on because they saw themselves in Marshall Mathers. And Eminem admitted to it in his song called White America. Yet still, he helped to move the needle in the hip-hop genre and help to make it more mainstream for better or worse. You know? Help to make it worldwide. Globalize the game in a way that Michael Jordan globalized basketball. And I don't fuck with Eminem like that. I don't. I criticize him a lot for a lot of the stuff he does. A lot of the corny songs he's made. But it is what it is. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Like the video, hit subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Y'all keep rocking with me. Keep sharing the content. Y'all donate to my Cash App when you get a chance to. I'm going to leave the link to the Cash App name in the bio. I'm sorry, not the link, but I'm going to leave my Cash App name in the bio. And y'all support the channel if you want to. I'm out. Peace.